Here I am back in India. Culture much different than my own, but after several visits, I acclimate kind of quickly. Take your shoes off before you walk in the door. Don't pass somebody something with your left hand. Don't point your feet at anyone. Every society has its rules, and when you break them, you feel a little dissonance, a little awkwardness in the air. Now, the biggest no-nos we call taboo, and those are often universal. Cannibalism, incest, desecrating religious symbols or art.
But what if conforming to these standards confines us to a dull, passive existence, like sheep stumbling along with the herd, putzing through life like one giant sleepwalk?
As I've grown, I've learned many things in life are counterintuitive. When it came to dating, I used to put my head down like a bull and push, push, push. But in romance, sometimes you gotta pull. If you're applying for a job you absolutely need, you must think and project that you don't need it at all. And if you're commanding a vehicle and you see something you absolutely must avoid, whether it's a throne of chainsaws or the fiery angel of death, you have to peel your eyes away from him and look where you want to go, or you will go right into his deadly embrace. Who would have thunk it? We're told that the way through life is to play by the rules, but perhaps the true path is also counterintuitive. Maybe the true path is to break them. The bigger the rule, the better.
The counterintuitive path begins and ends with the gods. It's to their divine nature that all holy men progress, and it's from them that the unusual paths originate. If you want a crash course on divinity and devotion, there's one obvious destination in India. Varanasi, one of the world's oldest cities, considered the epicenter of Hinduism. It's the Jerusalem of India. It's a place of the gods.
Varanasi is also a popular pilgrimage spot. People come here from all over India. They come here to die.
In Hinduism, everything is in a constant cycle. On the bigger scale, you have the god, Brahma, creating the world. Vishnu maintains it, and Shiva destroys it after 4 ages. This happens over and over.
On a human scale, Hindus believe we're on a constant wheel of life and death. How you come out, how you're reincarnated, is based on karma. However, you can break free from this cycle.
According to the Purusartha, there are 4 pursuits in human life. Dharma, doing your civic duty, doing what's right. Artha, acquiring material possessions and wealth. Kama, pleasure and sexual fulfillment.
But at the top of the stack is moksha, self-realization, transcendence, spiritual awakening, freedom from samsara. You can achieve this over several cycles of life and death. Or there's a cosmic loophole. Die here in Varanasi and you get it like that.
This is Manikarnika Ghat, the greatest cremation ground in the world. Fires burn non-stop, 100 to 200 bodies up in flames every day. The heat from the fires is almost unbearable. Bodies packed inside heaps of oily wood. Feet facing the Ganges, face up, looking towards the heavens. Beside the fires, ashes are sifted for gold and precious metals, left behind before submerging into the murky river.
This fire has reputedly been burning for over 1,000 years. Every cremation starts with an ember from right here.
Along the steps, cadavers wait their turn, slowly drying after one last purifying dip in the holy river.
But some bodies cannot be burned. Fire cleanses, but these souls are already considered pure. Pregnant women, young children, animals, priests, lepers, and cobra bite victims. To those, a large stone is affixed and they're dropped into the depths. Imagine how many cadavers are slowly decomposing below me. Fish.
This place, continually burning and pouring out the ashes of the deceased, would seem to me the ideal spot to meet extreme followers of the god Shiva, called Aghori. A supreme example of that counterintuitive, taboo-breaking tantric philosophy. Varanasi is said to be the place, but on the funeral pyre, I saw none. Although there is an interesting twist of fate being played out here. The men working the funeral pyre are considered Dalit, untouchables, so lowly in status they belong below the bottom rung in India's caste system. Disadvantaged and disrespected to the living, suddenly they become VIPs upon death. These men are the only caste allowed to handle corpses. If they don't send you off into the afterlife, no one will.
Now, if you don't die here, you can still get moksha.
No. If
No.
they die other place, they have to bring the ashes here, and one priest people, they pray for the ashes and throw in the Ganga. Then his soul go directly to the moksha.
Okay.
If they don't bring the ashes here, he forget he lost the ashes, so his soul is wounding like a ghost. So he's not entered to the moksha.
So if you die somewhere else, not in Varanasi,
No.
you have a time limit to bring the ashes to
Time
Varanasi.
limit under 1 month.
1 month, I'm going to tell my relatives. 1
course
month,
you
I've
have
got to
to.
be right here.
People-
Maybe you'll say, I remember that guy. So if I came here, even though I'm not Indian,
Yes.
and you burned me here, or the
You have, I cannot say this my tongue.
Yeah.
You have a long life, but I burned many people I saw here.
Yeah.
Many Western people already burned here.
how much is that going to cost my relatives, by the way?
Now I tell you about 26,000 rupees minimum. Yes, everybody one day die, but same people can burn. Everybody.
Everybody dies and everybody can burn.
The next day, I'm back on the hunt. The city is full of sadhus, and some of them look Aghori-ish. But look closer and you'll see these guys are just looking for an easy handout. There are holy men all over the world of all faiths that love them some money, so I'm not singling these guys out. It just doesn't smack of extreme spiritual focus. Nonetheless, Varanasi's tight winding paths, generously sprinkled with all kinds of little shrines and temples, are a one-of-a-kind experience to meander through. You will have to deal with some touts. Okay, a lot of touts. When my strolling turns out fruitless, I begin to engage the locals. Where are the Aghori? Unable to determine who to trust, I turn to the help of my hotel staff.
हेलो
Sometimes in India, you just gotta go there.
The very first Aghori was a man named Baba Kinaram Ji, who is said to be the god Shiva incarnate. But that didn't save him from Father Time and the specter of death. He's buried in an ashram out here on the outskirts of Varanasi, said to be a pilgrimage site for today's Aghori. I'm not sure if my timing is good, but it's a nice place to check.
Well, sometimes in India you just gotta go there, but sometimes you'll hit a brick wall nonetheless. No Aghori, no priests or sadhus, no cameras. Eventually a lead takes me to a Ghat upriver. On this bright morning, holy men sit in contemplation. Could these be my guys?
Is this your lifestyle? Have you given up your families?
Yeah, we live our family.
You left your family.
9 years back. Money is in, everything is in Maya. We have to create something new and good. Why the world is until it's good? Because of some sadhus living in this world.
This rings genuine, referencing Maya, the illusion of the material world around us, the hamster wheel.
So you're like the righteous men that keep the world in balance.
Yeah, balance, yeah.
So can I ask you, there's a couple specific things people associate with Aghori. They talk about eating flesh.
That one is not real. You can see in everywhere in Kashi, no one, maybe in Shivratri, in Kumbh Mela, even Naga Sadhus everywhere, no one take the flesh one like that.
Okay, so that's a myth.
No, no. Though some TV channels has given the paid money and they have talked some beggar baba.
Oh, really? But there's no tradition of this. There's no tradition of cannibalism.
Yeah.
As the sun's rays warm up the steps, the man continues to speak at length on abstract and somewhat disjointed ideas.
You see the birds. They are not doing work.
The birds are always provided for.
God gave everything.
Is this the wisdom of a true Aghori, not one made for TV?
Well, that guy had a lot to say. Claims to be a Aghori, not what I imagined, but who knows? In this town, it's really hard to know who to believe. Everybody has a different opinion. Said a lot, dropped a lot of wisdom on me. What I gather is that the good and the bad, the God and the devil, the healthy and the unhealthy is all part of the same thing. And by analyzing and living in this dark side, the destructiveness, the destroyer, you somehow still find a path to the divine. Now here's the thing, I wonder if there's still a more extreme edge that people are exploring to find that divinity. My time is not up in India. I'm gonna chew on what this guy said and look for that extremity.
Around me, Varanasi pulses with life and activity. A strong, exotic brew of unique characters in a one-of-a-kind location. Despite my best efforts to sift through the winding passages and engage with the characters hidden within, my targets remain elusive. But tomorrow holds the promise of a new day.